Anyways, old people cigarettes, right?
Yeah, old people cigarettes.
And Meowcast. You asked what a Meowcast was, did you not?
Yes, I did. What is a Meowcast?
No one knows. Someone convinced me to do it, and for some reason, I did.
And are you
uh,
enjoying doing it?
well, this is the second one.
Oh, what was the first one about?
I did Lorge.
Large. That's awesome.
Wow. My thought is, do this. No one will watch it, but we'll do it. We'll talk to each and every one of the meows we can for like an hour. See what they think. Right?
Okay. Do you really want to know what I think on certain things?
Yeah, absolutely. I have a feeling that you have some of the opinions my old ex-girlfriend had in a way.
Oh God. Should I be
Yeah.
scared?
Well, yeah, she was a little crazy.
Well,
And not
maybe
in
a
a, oh
little.
no, you shouldn't say that because that's mean. No, she said crazy things all the time, every day.
A little bit of crazy is okay. It's when it gets toxic crazy, it's bad.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Well, she once said to me, she goes, a woman's place is in the barefoot and pregnant and tied to the stove.
I would never say that.
But now, do we have a definition of the crazy I'm speaking of?
A wee bit, yes.
A wee bit.
A
Just a
wee bit.
little bit.
Hmm.
Just a tiny bit, huh?
Just the tip.
Just the tip. Oh, God. Do you want to introduce yourself, maybe? You know, a little?
Um, meow. Uh,
Well,
I am Tracy. I am on the Meow Talk server, and I play RuneScape. I play Minecraft. Uh, yeah, I'm a crazy old older lady who plays video games.
older lady who plays video games. Why is that a defining factor?
Because most of the time, if you tell somebody you're 51 years old and you play video games, they're like, ew, why? Don't you
You know
like
what?
have grandkids or something?
Well, yeah, that's a fine question. Why? Why do you think people are like that? Why they expect? I reckon people expect some sort of like completion to life, to where you don't want any entertainment, or what do you think it is?
Well, I think it's because I was probably coming into the first generation of being a gamer, where like my parents and even my older sister are definitely my mom's she's a Facebook queen, but that's about it. She doesn't even know how to use a computer very well, you know,
Hmm.
that type of situation. So I was like the first generation that really started using computers and playing games on them and liked
Oh,
it.
and liked it.
Yes.
Well, yeah, I would say that's a heavy hitter too, because there's a lot of people who were there for the first things, and they probably haven't touched anything since then.
Yeah.
You know, the last thing they touched was an arcade game in the '80s, and
Yeah.
and now they can't even. They need their kids to log them into their Bank of America account.
Oh, God forbid you say those nasty, vile words. Bank
Vile
of
words, Bank
America.
of America.
Yeah.
Well, I think before I say them, we should point out that you are a banker,
Yes.
but not a traditional banker.
No.
You're a on the phone banker,
Right.
which sounds like you're selling stocks, maybe.
No, I do. I do
I'm messing.
actual banking.
Actual banking,
Actual banking.
as opposed to those fakes who do fake banking.
Well, I wouldn't consider investment bankers to be bankers. They're more
Yeah,
investments.
Yeah, that is such a far grasp to call someone who's an investment banker a banker, isn't it?
Very.
Like, they've, in general, they've gone to school. They've probably never worked a retail job ever in their life, and now they'll just call themselves a banker.
Exactly.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Huh. Wow. And what brings you to the meows?
Well, I was killing worms one day, and this character rolls up next to me and trades me, and I'm like, okay. And he's like, here, have some potions. It'll make you kill them faster. And I was like, okay. Now, mind you, this is after I had been playing RuneScape again, um, for 6 months and didn't talk to anybody on the game. Nobody ever talked to me. I was just this little lone person playing it. And he's like, you should join our clan. And I joined the clan and I love the clan and I like the community. So, yeah, I've stayed and I'm trying to help the clan grow in my own little way.
Hmm. Hmm. And that's led you to do some things. Can we talk about some of those things?
If you would like to.
Maybe admit to some of those things? I mean, everyone knows you. You've paid for the Minecraft server.
Yep. Yep. Brought that to where anybody on the server and friends or family can join. Um, I admit I am not a computer programmer type person, analytical brain enough to where I can set permissions appropriately, apparently, because I just set them to global. But, I learn. Yeah, that's something you need to fix.
I was supposed to fix that. Um, which I think I just did. Uh,
Okay.
we won't know until someone tries, obviously. Um, so you've done that. Have you done anything else? You wanted to, or you just want to stay silent about things?
I I made it to where Meow Talk did not have to do a pledge drive for the Meow Talk account for the year.
And that's very nice. We won't say any amounts. I think
No.
I dragged that out of you.
Yeah.
But, so that says what you did. What
Yeah.
about why you did? And why
Because
did you do that?
I did it because I like the community. Most of the people in the community are amazing. Everybody I've met has been very kind and gracious to me. They've been, there's been very few people in the clan that I have met that have been toxic individuals. There's some that are a
Um,
little off the wall, but
are they? Well, who?
yeah. I'm not going to name names. I can tell you it's not you. I don't think you're off the wall enough yet.
Off the wall enough, yeah. I think I try. I
You
really do.
try. Again, as
Um,
you say, who else can make a bunch of grown adults meow at each other, and
cat
be happy
unity and
about it?
whatnot.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's its own thing. Oh wow, it's underwater. That sucked. Um, oh boat. What am I going to do with you?
Do you not know how to boat?
Huh? No, no, the boat that was in the water.
Oh,
Um, huh, huh. So we won't get those answers out of you. That's all right.
if depending
How
on the
about
answer, I may not even know the answer.
some more about Trace? You do say some off the wall stuff yourself.
Well, I am pretty off the wall sometimes. I don't want to be that normal person. Normal is boring, and I don't like being boring. I like a little variety in life.
Variety.
Yeah.
Well, generally, when we say crazy things, you're completely fine with it.
There's really not much you could say to me that's going to shock me unless you told me you murdered somebody and ate their body. Then I might be appalled, but it's not going to shock me. Well, no, if it was you telling me that, I would be shocked, but some people, yeah.
why would you be shocked if I said it?
I would not be shocked if you said it.
What leads you to this sort of opinion?
Because you're
What a sordid opinion it is.
no, you would never do anything like that. You just like to be very secretive, and so for you, I think if you ever said anything like that, it would be just for the total shock value. Have we ever
Just
had
for
this
the,
person on the game before?
I think they're new. It's a little different than House Kitten, at least.
Yeah,
Okay.
I've never seen this person.
Oh, that's all right. That doesn't mean
I
you
just
shouldn't be nice to them, right?
no, I was putting welcome to the server because I hadn't seen them before.
Dun 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 dun.
And that's another thing about me. I can be weirdly super nice to people, and people find that interesting about me.
Interesting.
Yeah,
Well, how so?
because I don't like to be mean.
Well, why not? What's wrong with being mean? You know,
It's just not my
gotta
nature.
sometimes you gotta stand up for yourself. You know.
There's a difference
How
between
was I?
standing up and
Could I not find this? What is wrong with me? Anyways, no, I'm listening. I'm yelling.
there's a difference between being mean and being I just don't like that feeling. I don't like negative feelings like that. It's not me.
Negative feeling.
Yeah, and I feel it feels negative to me to say mean things.
It feels negative to say mean things.
For me to say mean things, yes.
For
I don't
you to say mean
I
things.
don't like it.
You don't want to say mean things,
Nope.
but
Now, I
sometimes
will
you
play with
have to.
you. I will play joke with you and say mean things, but I will not intentionally try to hurt somebody.
But sometimes you have to. Sometimes that's the only way to get to people, would you say?
Sometimes, yes, but I don't doesn't mean I like it.
Doesn't mean you like. Well, that's very parental of you to say, isn't it? That's
Well,
sort
I
of.
am.
That's. Yes, you are.
I am a parent. User space dash username? Sorry, I'm trying to do something here
That's fine.
and not mess it up.
Hmm. Well,
Okay,
that
so when you
seems
put
like a.
dashes
That
and stuff,
seems
do you
like.
mean
That seems like a really big ask. I think.
I think I'm not typing this in right to promote them? Do I put include the dashes?
Yeah. Wherever it tells you to put a dash.
Okay. It just seems weird.
Well, a lot of things seem weird the first time you do it.
New user. It's not liking this. It's telling me incorrect argument.
Well, it's.
New user dash. You
Well, you
have
gotta
two.
do LP,
Yeah.
username.
Yeah.
Is it username?
Yeah, you tell me LP user, then dash uh, username dash
No, no, not dash username.
that you put. That's what this is
Cause
what
that's fine.
this is what I'm going off of. So tell me if I'm doing something wrong. Okay, hold on. Okay, control place does not work for that situation.
Copy. I'm gonna send it to you. Relax. So, anyways, you mentioned parenting. How do you
Yeah.
feel? You wanna maybe tell the meows how that's like? Some of the challenges.
Um, it's okay. Um, it's good. I have a 26-year-old. I have a. Is there a space? No. Default meow.
hmm
Sorry, I'm trying to do two things at once. Anyways, I have a
Alright.
26-year-old daughter who,
You wanna help me do something mindless?
sure.
Maybe that'll help you talk.
Yeah, I can talk if I'm not.
I'm just mindlessly making a little stairway. Okay, meowers. Oof, I was worried. Anyways, I'm just mindlessly making the rail that comes up to surface level, which I should have
Ooh.
done at spawn, but not the brightest sometimes.
Well, let me set where my travel is.
But the thing with it is I'm not the world's best at this. Come on, there. So on my hand, and then swap some things using commands. But I want the five wide stairway down, and I'm not using stairs, but the five wide, down one over, to be done by
Mm,
hand.
I get it.
You can go next to me and start smacking.
I gotta get up here to the top, and I will. Do you want left or right of you?
It doesn't matter. I'm right now on the main center one, so I know I'm good there. You know what I mean?
Hmm. Let me
I
actually go and get some tools.
tools.
Well, you said to break it by hand, so
Well,
never
yeah, I'm
mind.
just breaking it by creative hand, but if you
Okay.
want some blocks, you can get some tools. It's all good.
No, I'm good.
So, anyways, back to that.
Uh, okay, so where was I?
Parenting, my greatest journey of life, really, eh? Would you say?
It's
I wonder what this does.
up.
Huh. I fixed them because he was about to die. Um. Anyways,
So parenting is great. I
how
like I was
great
saying,
that.
I have a daughter who is 26. I have a son that is gonna be 30 this year,
Jeez.
and then I have a son that's 33.
33.
Hmm.
There's some other things, but they're topics I don't want to touch. I could say there.
Oh, that topic make you a little wee bit uncomfortable?
Oh, I mean, if you're not gonna get mad, we can get into it. I
No?
mean, I'm not judging you. Like I said, you go, girl. But yeah, no, if you're completely comfortable, ah, I think that right there is maybe the type of content we need instead
Um,
of what is more interviewing, to be honest.
yeah.
That definitely goes from interviewing to some saucy meatballs there, right? Ah,
What, so you want something more than I imported my husband?
oh, you imported them?
Yes, I did.
Ah, I
I
was
am.
thinking more of the A word.
Oh, the age word.
Yeah,
Yes, my husband is younger than me.
well, how young are we talking? I think we discussed this. And that's why I
Yes.
said I don't think you realize how saucy I mean when I say it's saucy.
Um, uh,
I
see,
mean, by my
people
I'm
get
not judging.
judgmental. I'm not saying you do. I'm just saying people get judgmental about that subject, and um, that's why I think you're the only person on the server I've told. Uh, but we'll just say he's a considerable age difference than
Well,
myself.
well, I
But
mean, oh man, see, I don't want to offend you, but
you're not gonna offend me.
I mean, by all happenstance, he's about as young as your daughter,
Older than my daughter.
older than your daughter. You said he was younger than me, so, but he's at least around the age of your son.
Yes.
And see, I'm not judging. I just wonder how is that like? You know, like that's got to be a thought, right?
Yeah, and the.
And I'm not saying it's the world's worst thing, you know.
No, Crystal went
I
with me
question,
to when we met, and she liked him, and uh,
like, I just wonder.
my kids have gotten along well with him. What is your pattern here of ceiling? Jeez.
I know I'm gonna have to go back through and do it, but the first thing I wanted to do, so I'm in the center, was this. Um,
I've been trying to.
I wonder how that works. Like, how, yeah, how do they? Well, you just answered that. I was gonna say, how do they feel about it?
Oh yeah,
But
Crystal and he, they get along really well. She calls him instead of you know stepdad or anything like that because of course the age difference is so close. She calls him her stepfather.
sorry, that didn't kill you, did it?
No, it just scared me because I wasn't
Yeah,
expecting it. Anyway, she calls
so
him her stepfather because his name is
stepfather.
yeah, because his name is Steph.
I like it, stepfather.
So it's stepfather and her friends get a kick out of it
Oh man, that's got
and
to be interesting too.
well, what's kind of cool is her friends all know him too because we did D&D together.
Oh man,
And so they all know him and get along with him and some of them call him, friend and well,
and
quite a few of them.
how does that like? You
Are
know, and
we
like I
going
said,
up
none
this
of
side?
this. No, no, I'm just. This is just a working ceiling for the bottom
No,
layer.
no, no, no. You wanted two, one on each side, and this is the middle, right? So I'll
Yeah,
go do
yeah,
the
yeah,
next one
yeah,
down.
yeah, yeah.
Okay.
So that's got to be like interesting too.
Which part?
Whew. It's all complex.
I
It's sort of, it's a new thing and it's an old thing, you know?
yeah.
I mean, who says, you know?
See, and I never had a problem with the age part because my parents' age gap was significant. Granted, it was the other way around, where my dad was 22 years older than my mom. So,
So here's the weird thing, and maybe you can tell me your opinion. Um, it does seem like people accept it the other way more.
a younger female with an older guy, but not a younger lady or an older lady with a younger guy because, that's being a cougar, and I didn't want to put
Yeah.
myself in that stigmata of, oh, she's just a cougar,
And isn't
I'm,
that sort of weird that people are like that too with that? She's a cougar.
they're going to think what they want. I don't necessarily agree with what everybody thinks. And, what can I do about it? Nothing.
Have you
I
dealt with that before?
I've only had one person personally that was judgmental, and it was somebody I work with, and it's not somebody I valued their opinion of anyways. Um, so it didn't cause me
Meow meow.
unrest.
Ah, well that's good.
I don't, but my friends and stuff like that, they've all been like way super supportive of it, and you know. But I'm the person. I'm the type of person. If you don't like me, fine. If you like me, great. I'll be your best friend. But if you
Hmm.
don't like me, okay. It's not going to break my heart that you don't want to be a friend.
Well, that's good. I think. I think that's an important value. That's almost slightly lost.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah, I think people sort of lose that value. There's a constant desire of people to. Oh, this hasn't finished running its command. That's why I'm having an issue. There's a constant desire, and I mean that's evolutionary. The desire to have people like you and want you. Um, so there's definitely that.
Yeah. And
Uh,
there's a different. Oh God. Yeah. I used to be. Service. Let me connect it to me.
God.
There you
Anyways,
go. Um, I
a
don't,
lot
and
of
I don't.
random people are finding us that way. It's very weird.
Yeah, that's
Um,
really weird, but it's worth it. And they've got a meow name.
yeah. So, anyways, yeah, we were talking about people's constant desire to fit in. Would you
And
say you go against that obscenely, or?
I don't I don't necessarily go against it. I'm just not going to be that person that you have to be my friend or I'm going to be upset. Because again,
Ah,
I could care less if you like me or not, or if you dislike me. If you like me, great, we'll be friends. If not, that's on you. That's not on me. What
okay.
if
Well, you're pushing me around.
I just moved out of the way? Are
Okay,
you
this
doing
one's
this
gonna
5
suck.
blocks wide or 3?
That should answer your question right there. Oh no! I threw my magical world editing tools on the ground. like
Well,
some sort of moron.
let me go down and see what you've done.
Yeah, it's gonna take a minute.
Oh, holy hell. Yep. Okay.
And the server's not gonna like this at all. Just letting you know.
Don't light it up. Let it do the natural lighting update thing.
Hey, it did it. Look at that.
Nice.
At least somewhat. This is gonna be insane.
I mean,
Anyways.
do you think it's wrong that I prefer not to deal with people's insecurities? And that's what it is. I don't like to deal with people's insecurities with themselves. Um, I have my own
And you ain't got time for others.
exactly, and I support my friends and family who are going through issues or situations, but I don't have time
I,
to waste in life on people's negativity. Again, you like me or you don't. I'm not going to beg you for your friendship, you know?
yeah. You do feel aware of that people struggle though,
Oh
right?
yeah. Oh yeah. I'm not empathetic. I am also aware of my own values and my own uh, liabilities and my own thoughts. And I know that not everybody has the same mindset, but it's much more freeing. I feel freer not feeling that I used to be that person that I had to be friends. It hurt me to the core if we weren't friends. I used to be that way. And then I
Well,
realized how hard that was on myself. And then once I figured that out, it was a lot easier.
I think that's something to you figure out with age. When you're young, I would say the tribal identity of not fitting in matters more.
Yeah.
Even with my own experience, I could definitely say that it's a more noticeable problem in high school than it is in college.
Mhm.
It's even less noticeable in your first job and your second job, so on and so forth, all the way
Exactly.
down the line.
Yeah, because by then you're feeling more secure in whom you are, and you don't need to rely on that positive feedback from everybody all the time, which
Now, that's an interesting thing. Positive feedback from everyone all the time.
mhm.
Do being one of the older people in the server,
Mhm.
in the meows and whatnot, do you feel that's a
Do I
do you
feel
feel that's do you feel that there's a lot of people who are doing that?
I don't I think people have gotten so afraid to give any type of feedback of any way, shape, or form that feedback has gotten to be more of a rarity than it should be. I feel more feedback should be given, positive and or negative. But the way society has become, you know, people excuse my expressions, but people get butt hurt if they get negative feedback instead of taking the constructive criticism that they're given and running with it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I
And that negative feedback's sort of really important, isn't it?
Absolutely. I mean, it helps you grow as a person. It helps you fix the things that are wrong. So if you have somebody on your server who's being toxic and you try to provide them the positive or the corrective criticism of their actions and how their actions are affecting people, and they don't take it and they still continue with that negative thing, and then they start getting negative feedback, instead of the corrective criticism. But it's not until they get older when they realize, oh God, yeah, I really was a jerk, you know?
Huh. Oh yeah, there's definitely that. Did you experience that in your life? That you got older and you realized, oh man, I was sort of a piece of shit. Have you ever? And I'm
Um,
not saying you are or aren't. I'm just saying, have you ever experienced that?
I probably did. I've never been a toxic person, but okay, unless you ask maybe ex-husband or something. Uh,
Well, if we ask anyone's ex, they're always
um,
who wasn't terrible.
but
No
then
one
again,
has.
so were they.
Yeah, no one ever goes. My ex was great. I had to leave because they were too good. Well, I've heard that actually, but it's not common.
I can say I was the one that left all my exes, um, because I couldn't tolerate them anymore. Oops. Um, I can tell
Yes,
you my age has given me patience. My
and
age has
wisdom.
it's given me the ability to be more empathetic towards people as well as sympathetic. Um, because it's with this day and age, it's hard for people, and I get it. Even being a banker, I get kind of jaded on certain things. People are complaining about not having money, and I'm like, whatever. But I
It sucks when you can see their transaction and you see every day they stop at the gas station, spend $20. You know you're not putting $20 in gas every day.
Well, and there
You
are people that
know,
do, but it's the ones that you see that go to the liquor store 2 and 3 times a day, and then they call you and are complaining about money, and not having it. Those are the ones you're like, well, if you were worried about money, you wouldn't have bought XYZ. And I have said, and I'm going to be perfectly honest, I have told people before, well, you don't have, do, do you think you can take something you bought from XYZ back? If you're
damn,
that broke? Well, these are people who are definitely
that's
mismanaging their money beyond what the bank should have to, try to assist with. You've already given them as many courtesy refunds as you can and, things like that. And people are just, God, you keep playing with did you just lower the ceiling even more or did you mess up my stuff?
no, I messed up my ceiling in the first place. But go on.
Okay.
I mean, so you were saying that they obviously are mismanaging,
Yeah,
and they expect the bank to fix it somehow for them.
exactly. And that's not the bank's responsibility. The bank is there to help with their money, but it's not there to make it where all your fees are refunded and you're not held accountable for your own actions. And that's what gets me is people they want to blame the bank, every time they get a non-sufficient funds fee, but we don't put non-sufficient funds fees on your account because we want to. It's because you didn't have the money, So
Oh man.
and that again, it comes back to people need to take accountability for their own actions and take that constructive criticism and go with it, not take it in a bad way. At first, learn from your mistakes. I mean, we
How
had
easy would your yeah, yeah, oh yeah. Well, and everyone does. And I would say it's a huge misdeed, the parent who never gives their child the chance to learn from their mistakes.
and you would be amazed how many parents do that.
And with oh yeah, I'm not at all amazed. I mean, that's one of the greatest complaints about my generation is you gave them trophies and did
And
everything for them, and now they're horribly misprepared for the world. And I see it all the time. And
yeah,
the next generation is terribly misprepared too.
mhm. And it's and I'm all for rooting on people. The ones who aren't doing so hot. I'm for being a cheerleader for them to try to help them do better, giving them positive feedback and stuff like that, and trying to help them get where they need to be. But I also believe in if they need it.
But
You just scared me. I had to
this
fix
was
this
just the
ceiling.
easier solution.
Yeah, I have
Yeah.
to fix this ceiling because it was driving me crazy. Um, there's a difference between people who need help and the people who are demanding of handouts. Because you can have a very prideful person have to ask for help, but then you can also have Joe Schmo who just wants you to give it to him.
Oh man. Well, I know I've said many a time I'm a very poor cat. Do you feel I am a Joe Schmo? Give it to me.
No, I don't, because
Okay.
you don't. Uh-oh, he died and left the game.
Eh, they'll come back or they won't. No need to worry.
I'm not.
Everything in its time.
Uh,
Um. So
but
with
back
all
to
that
your
wisdom,
question. Hold on. No, back to your question.
well, let me live that down.
You have never asked me for anything,
That
and
is
that's the
true.
difference. There's a difference between asking and expecting than being offered and accepting.
Hmm. So, you mentioned wisdom and all that. What sort of wisdom might you have for these kitties?
Learn from
What
your
wisdom?
mistakes.
Well, yeah, definitely, definitely. I think
That's the
you
biggest
you
one.
you
Just
said that one for 5 minutes. Yeah.
yeah, learn
You
from your
that
mistakes and accept responsibility for your own actions. Because guess what? There's 80-year-olds that don't even want to do that.
oof. How do you
Yeah.
even? How do you even? I mean, that person's sort of, and I never want to say anyone's gone, but I mean, I really at that
Alexa,
point,
shush.
that person's completely gone, aren't they? I
Um,
mean, if you're 80 and you can't accept responsibility and you can't learn from your mistakes, I mean, that's insane.
and I have to give old people a little bit of a break because some of them they can't help it. They are no longer in control of their mental faculties. You know, s-
Well, I'm not saying. Whoa,
no, no,
whoa,
no, no,
whoa.
no, no, no.
I'm
I'm
just saying. I'm
explaining.
not. I'm not saying. Someone with Alzheimer's
Yeah,
is a
but
major problem.
no, typically they're not in charge of their own finances or basically their own life anymore either.
Yeah, they're barely in charge of their own bowels,
Right.
which is
You know, but
absolutely terrifying.
but you get these older people that um just they really don't get what well, I could turn this going crazy, but I'm not going to. So let me just rein in my thought there. Uh, but older people tend to the older people are much, much more in charge of their financial life. And so they have been taking responsibility for their actions for the most part. You do still get some, and uh, I'm have not said on here, I don't think, where I work, so I'm not
No,
going
don't say
to.
that. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not going to, but you know, I deal with military people, and most of the time it is older military, and they get very demanding, you know.
Well, isn't that one of the things people complain about, sort of that older generation?
Yeah.
I mean, i.e., the birth of the Karen,
Mhm.
which who knows where that even came from? Like, how is that a thing? Why is that a thing, you think?
Because in my opinion, they didn't want to take responsibility for their own actions.
It's
Hence,
easier to
let me talk.
complain.
Yep,
Oh,
hence let
well,
me
I'm
talk
letting
to
you
your
talk.
manager.
Yeah. Well, and it's easier to complain too, definitely. I mean, you can sit there and instead of going, we raised a bunch of kids who are like this, it's a lot easier to say, um, that, kids these days are entitled and they're this and that and they're nothing like we were at that time. So on and so forth.
Kids in this day and age have, I think, a lot harder. They may not have it more technologically harder, but now is when they're learning about things that m- when people were my age that were not diagnosed properly. So I do see a lot of the kids now have a lot harder of time because just there's so much more ongoing, you know? Does that make sense?
Yeah. And how do you feel about that sort of the rise of really diagnostics of things that they weren't back then? How do you? I mean, because
I'm grateful.
well, yeah, uh,
I'm I'm
definitely.
I'm grateful because kids are learning or are living longer. They're, you know, back when the death rate for when I was, younger to now is so much better for surviving and being diagnosed. Things like autism and stuff like that, where these kids were once placed in homes for mentally incompetent people, are actually being taught a trade and being taught how to learn things appropriately. I think that's absolutely amazing, and I'm so glad and grateful. I wished it was sooner. I think there's so much more that could have happened. There's great people that were not discovered because of autism.
Yeah, that's a thing too. I think for all the complaining uh, that my generation and the generation, the freshest one right butted up next to that, it's still
Mhm.
ongoing. I don't think they realized that at one time that was the response.
Oh, yeah.
That was the go-to.
Yeah, if they didn't conform to society's norms, then they were institutionalized, and I think that was so wrong. But that doesn't mean have anything to do with learning from their mistakes, and that I got derailed on that. My apologies. I get
Well,
derailed very easily, apparently.
well, that's fine. That's like the whole point. Um, I mean, and you seem really heartfelt about that. Does that come from maybe some sort of experience of having to have dealt with it in some form?
Um, not me personally. I don't have any family members who are autistic or anything like that. But I do see mental illness all the time, and it's very rampant in today's society, and I have seen that within my family. Whereas before it wasn't diagnosed, and there was nothing done about it back in the day. And I guess I was grateful that I never had that, at least that I am aware of, I should say. Uh, so I'm fortunate in that aspect, but I see it today in so many kids. And with being somebody who I've had a Minecraft server before this, um, that I sponsored, and I had so many kids, and I got to see the mental illness there. And then with my daughter, she has, some mental illness as well. It's hard. It's hard to see, and it's hard to experience it, but it happens. So I'm grateful that there's so much positive that can happen now versus back then.
Yeah, you did a pretty positive thing here. We won't say who or what or why, but there was a particular reason you opened up your wallet and did this. It wasn't because you wanted a server.
Well, I like Minecraft. I always have, and so I do enjoy it. Where did my mistake happen? Shh. Is
Well, the first one's definitely agreeing to do something like this.
did I have a choice?
Well, I mean, no one's free of. No one's free of.
I'm just messing with you.
Well, everyone's free to make choices and not make choices, I would say. But,
I know. But
um,
as far as
no
doing
one's
the
free of
server,
consequences.
yeah. As far as opening up the server, it was something I felt needed to be done. So I did it. And it
Oh,
helps with
no, wait. We should rephrase that. So I commanded it done, paid money, and it was done.
I asked somebody very, very politely to assist, and they agreed willingly for themselves, and I appreciate that too very much. Because they could have told me to kiss their you know what, and they didn't.
Yeah, that's its own thing. I don't think they would have.
They could have though. All right. Do you want to? This is way too dark. We need to. I think I need to put stairs in here. What do you think?
Huh? It
I
doesn't
think
need stairs. It just needs lights now, doesn't it?
I think it
Wasn't
needs
that the
better
issue?
lights than what I just put up. I just put up torches. I think it needs better lights. But tell me if it looks okay otherwise. Is it uniform and even?
I don't know. You make it look however you want.
So,
You're not a fan of when I say something like that.
uh,
People seem to not like that statement. Like I go to the haircut place and I say, "Make it look good." I don't really care. Blank canvas, and people hate that.
well, because they value your input, otherwise they wouldn't ask.
Yeah.
Do you
Well,
prefer glowstone or do you prefer the red lantern light thingy?
um, you do what looks good.
Well, I don't. Which one puts off more light?
I don't know.
Glowstone, I think. So we'll just put glowstone up.
I like that glowstone one. I like it to look a little fancy. We're putting a torch there. was interesting. Oh my God, Trace.
What?
Nothing. I don't
Why?
know. I'm gonna have to time this. I don't know how long of a ride this will be. It's gonna be
Forever?
insane. Yeah, something. It's
Now, is
gonna
this
be.
one
No
gonna
one
be
will ever ride it, too.
is this gonna be one that you're gonna have to use a command to change it the direction that the tracks go?
No,
Okay.
goes
So it
north.
okay. Oh yeah. Okay. Um, what were we talking about before I got distracted?
Oh man, well I was asking what more advice you might have for the kiddies.
Um, I don't know if people would agree with this one.
Oh no, well I do like opinions that people don't agree.
Well, some parents definitely wouldn't agree with it, but I don't think that kids necessarily need a college education.
You know, I'm not a proponent of that either. I think college should be reserved for specialized skills, like
Yeah,
heavy engineering, mathematics, doctors. I do believe that my generation, and the upcoming one, has been scammed. They've been told to get a degree, which has created a market of a ton of people who have degrees, but they're sort of wage slaves, if you understand what I mean by that,
I do. And the problem is they're never going to make as much money.
as the prior generation did with just a degree.
Well, and they're never going to be able to get a degree that's going to give them the money that they're never going to be able to get the degree that's going to give them the money that they need to actually earn a valuable, well, to pay back their loans, period, first of all, you know? And I think that's a shame.
Yeah. I mean,
Y-
you know, when I was younger, I met someone, um, and I said what I was looking to make. And they said, that's more than my mom makes with a degree. And I make more than that now.
Mhm.
You know, I mean,
I don't
anything
have a degree.
financial. Yeah, I wanted to get into that. You mentioned working at a gas station earlier.
Mhm.
Very interesting when we were talking about cigarettes.
Yeah.
Um, but you mentioned working at a gas station.
Mhm.
Oh, I know what fucked up here, what that didn't do. Anyways, you mentioned working at a gas station. And now you're working a job. I won't say what you make, but you make about $11 more an hour than I do, if not more. You know,
Mhm.
and I bet, and I've browsed the job offerings there, and for that same position, they'd probably want a degree because they
Uh,
can get it because there's such a degree mill out there now. So they know they can get it. They can ask for it and they can receive it.
and they can ask for a lot lower than what I make, too.
Yep.
For and so no, I count myself very fortunate. Like our company just announced today our annual bonus. And we are very fortunate that we even get a bonus. There's a lot of
Oh,
companies
you are.
that don't give bonuses whatsoever. And on we have this like internal Facebook page.
Internal
And
Facebook page.
yeah, it's not
What a
Facebook, but
weird
it's
statement.
well, I don't know what else to call it, but it's like this place where you can go and talk or, put comments about what you feel about your job and stuff like that right now. Well, there
Oh
were so
yeah.
many people
That
reporting
sounds obscenely.
crazy to put. Yeah, I get. Um, but so many people were upset about the bonus that we got because it was lower than what we have received in years past. But due to the pandemic, due to the 97 natural disasters, including fires and stuff like that, that we experienced this year, I mean, what do they expect? It's not like it
Yeah.
was a great fiscal year. Plus, we got four other bonuses of $1,000 each to help us out during this time.
Oh, that's more than a lot of companies did. Mine
Right.
gave us hats,
Yeah.
and you better be grateful you got a hat. Is their long and short of that statement.
Yeah.
Be
You know,
grateful you got a fucking hat.
and we just got a company-wide pay increase if you were in like a certain category of like almost 8%.
Wow.
You know, how many companies do you know that do that? But yet people are ungrateful. And this was, I was venting to my mother today about it because it made me angry that people were complaining about it and they're not grateful for the fact that they have a job. They have a job that
Yeah,
actually pays decently, you know?
yeah, I could understand. That's completely and utterly a thing, you know?
Now,
Cool.
why do you have this to be solid brick walls? And this is a curiosity question versus the other way. Do you prefer just the brick walls?
What do you mean brick walls?
Well, on the other tunnel we had glass.
Oh, up top's supposed to be glass.
Well,
Oh,
up
on
top is
yours, I
glass.
did yours glass because
Yeah,
that's what you requested.
I liked it. Yes. So I didn't know. It was a question. Do you have just like the preference to it?
No, no preference.
Okay. I was just asking.
Yeah. That's just what I do. It's what I know.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. You seem to have a lot of, I'd almost call it a conservative base of bootstrapping. That's a bad idea, and this and that. What statements would you want to make there, man?
Um, Definitely not conservative, but yeah.
Well, it's very descriptive.
I don't know. I'm not that politically involved. Uh, I can say, you know, I hate watching the news. It brings me down, so I don't watch it. I don't know what else. What would you what ask me a direct question so I can give you a direct answer.
Well, you sound a little right leaning when you say things like college is a bad decision, which financially, and I don't understand why that's a politically right or left thing.
I don't get that one either,
Um,
but I just
yeah,
say that
when,
because of the fact that I see so many people getting a college education and are then financially strapped to pay off student loans. I have friends that went to college, um, and this is, of course, years ago, and they're still paying off some of their student loans. And they're, my age. And they're
ooh, wow. And how can you ever even expect to like retire at that?
exactly. That's why I don't think it, unless you're in a specialized field, you don't need it. And I think it's because I also, while my parents had money, um, I personally did not have money. You know, I didn't I didn't have the what's the wording I'm looking for? I did not have a wealthy pocketbook, let's put it that way, growing up. And my kids didn't come from a lot of money. And so I could see it. Why is there a random door just sitting out here?
Out where?
Out above the tunnel. There's just a
I
door.
was using it as a visual aid
Okay.
because, like, even right now, I can't find it.
It's right over
I
there.
just found it, yeah. So now I just gotta build some sort of rail station. Some sort of
What's
modern.
the hole down for here?
We'll go down it. Go down it, Trace. Go
I'm
down the
trying
hole.
to.
Jesus Christ.
It's a tunnel. Uh-huh. Did you just close me in?
What? You got proof? Just do / ascend.
I got
Fuck up the hole I was filling in. That works too, I guess. Okay.
um, but I can't say I'm right or left wing. I'm not politically involved whatsoever. I could I, yeah, no.
I could care
Politics
less.
politics bore me.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of it, but it seems to be all that people can do these days.
Well, if all you have in life is politics, that's pretty damn boring in my opinion. But that's my opinion. And opinions are like assholes. Everybody's got one. Do you agree or do you not agree?
I agree. I think the whole opinions are like assholes. Everyone's got one. It's sort of a cop out way of saying I disagree, but fuck you.
No, I don't
So
mean
I've
it in
started to kill all the animals on this island since I
which
had so
island?
many. The continent.
Oh, the continent,
Yeah, so feel free to run that command whenever you want.
the kill all command.
Yeah, I've been
Um,
running around doing it.
I haven't really done it because if you ever have anybody that chooses to build out there, you will want them to be able to get their own food source.
Um, well, build those farms out here. That's like the next 2 3 days, and they'll be
Can I,
filled.
can I, can I, can let me do just, I like
Do
breeding
it.
animals.
Well, I was just gonna spawn a bunch, but the statement I
No,
like breeding animals is really weird.
sheep like wheat.
Yeah, you can do that. You want to build giant pens for everything?
Yes, I'll do it. I'll take on that responsibility. Can I put it? You just tell me what area I can build it at.
You remember where all that wheat is?
Yeah, next to
Opposite
it.
side of the road. Yeah, just
Okay.
giant amounts of that. Because I was gonna do next to wherever those pens are. I was gonna do the other crops and test my water under the block theory that you said
Yeah.
won't work.
Yeah, it's never been able to work as far as I know. But I had to do this because I kept trying to run up and down these stairs and it wasn't working. So you now have a stair on one side.
Whatever.
If
It
you want
won't
to
harm
stare on it,
anything.
if you want to, nobody's ever going to use them, but if you want to stare on the other side, I can go through and put it in too.
Wouldn't it have just been smart to do half blocks? Then it wouldn't stuck out so much.
Probably.
Why don't you try half blocks on the other side and see if you don't like it more?
If I do half blocks, then I have to do,
No,
I
you're
have to
right.
redo all the counting.
Huh?
I would have to do all the counting over again.
Counting.
Yeah, the stairs itself. Because you're doing a half block and whole block in the same thing with a stair versus the half block, which is
Okay. Yeah, just do stairs on the other side then. So it's at least a little even.
yeah,
I wish
okay.
you would have maybe done it right next to a track so I could have the other three. Because my goal was to have rails maybe like this, and then because the center part of it, I can't use anything. So it would probably be better to be, you know, if that makes sense, and then have the stairs dividing them,
So
if
you're gonna
that makes
take
sense.
are you gonna take the center rail out?
No, the
Or
center
okay.
rail, yeah, there's no way to do it in a way that's not uneven. Because if you have them next to each other, then they try to connect, you know?
True.
Or if something happens, they try to connect. And I didn't want that.
Okay, I'll just take them out.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm crazy. You know, like, that's too much work. I'll just remove them completely. You crazy cat person.
Well, this
You.
way you can do it how you want, and you don't have me messing things up for you. You just tell me
Anyways,
what to do.
I'll tell you what
Uh,
to do when I know what to do.
okay.
I struggle with that. It is not to do the whole generational thing again, but it is big in my generation to struggle with knowing what to do.
I think it's a struggle in any generation. We all have that struggle, you know?
And how
The
do you
only thing
cope with that struggle?
I do what the best that I can do.
Ooh,
Seriously.
that's a good one.
No, that is seriously mm, what I do is I just try to do the best that I can do for everything involved because I don't.
Yeah, I have a good one.
What?
Given that you are in a slightly older demographic, um, you know what? It's on the horizon. It's on the horizon for everyone, every day, really. You know, risk is always involved.
Hmm.
But, you know, when you get older, it starts to be more and more on the horizon. You know, there's definitely when you're younger and you think you're invincible, you know, it's not at all on the horizon then. And then you get a little older and you go, I'm not invincible, but it only slightly becomes on the horizon.
Hmm.
So, given that, you're definitely older than 99.9% of the other meows.
Yeah.
What's your sayings on death there?
Ooh, that's a good one. Um,
Yeah, I've been.
it also brings up a whole religion conversation. Um,
Well, yeah, I mean, that's always important to people and their death considerations because that's a big part of it.
yeah. And so that's where again my unconventional thinking does pop in because I am not the conventional type person, if you
Well,
haven't noticed.
who is conventional, really? Define
Well,
conventional.
I am not the typical Texas Bible thumper.
Well, yeah, that's the thing.
I'm the exact opposite of one. Well, okay, not exact opposite. Um, I don't even know what to call it. You
You're
know?
not going to say spiritual, are you?
No. Um, I don't know what I am. But what do I think will happen when I die? And am I afraid of dying? No, I'm not
Yeah.
afraid of dying.
Well, have
Uh,
you done considerations to the fact that
um, minimal.
minimal considerations?
Yeah, like I don't have a will or anything yet. I don't
Yeah,
have.
you
I
work
don't
at
have.
a company that offers insurance.
Mhm. I have some life insurance, yes.
Well,
That's
yeah, you
because
got
that's
it.
company paid for.
Oh, yeah.
I
And
did
it's
take out
like a year's salary, right?
2 years, but
Yeah.
you have to
Mine,
understand with my salary, that's a considerable amount for my family. Like I
yeah.
said, it ain't a bad thing, you know. I'm not going to pay for the okay, I'm not going to pay for my able-bodied family to live in the lap of luxury for the rest of their lives, you know, but
I mean, even with like $1 million policy, I mean, you know something about finance and stuff. You know that's not really life of luxury.
well, I'm not even doing that much.
Yeah, I'm just saying. I mean, before we make the argument, $1 million isn't even really that much now.
Yeah.
Like I reckon, by all accountants' sake, I would need 2 million at retirement. You know.
Yeah, and see, I don't even have that in retirement.
Well, neither do I, but I reckon that would be the smart amount. Now, will I get to retire with the smart amount? Probably not.
Me either. Um, but as far as death goes, I'm not scared of it. I'm
Not a fan, though.
well, I don't want to leave this earth tomorrow. That's for sure. But I'm not. See, I just had this whole death conversation with my mom the other day, and it's like, ugh.
Oh, yeah, she's definitely closer.
Oh yeah. And so I already know, what she wants me to do for her and stuff like that. And I'm like, okay.
Let me guess, it's something super selfish.
Actually, no. Uh, whichever one passes first between her and my stepdad, uh, they want to be cremated, and then they want to have it to where they can. The other person takes the ashes home in an urn, and then they will, when the next one dies, I'm to have them put in the same urn as the first one, and then go get together with my sister and stepsisters and take them to the river where we all grew up swimming and dispose of them in the water.
Isn't that like illegal?
I think you can do, if they have considerations, you can get considerations made. Because I know they do that like at sea and stuff.
Yeah.
What is that block? It's driving me crazy.
I'm fucking struggling.
Why?
I was just trying to fucking struggle plus. It was bad. Oh, it was so bad. I don't
Have
even
you
know
have
how
you
to.
read the have you ran the rail all the way to? Did you just spawn a bat? That's the first bat I've seen out here.
Oh, got a bat problem?
Well,
Well, that's badass.
you know what you should do? You should loop it around and have it go back down. Like, nope, you're not welcome. Goodbye.
Oh, that's terrible.
I know.
Exactly what I expect out of you, though.
All right, so I'm gonna pin this. So I pin message. Okay. Oh yeah, pin it.
Huh.
Uh,
So I've said a lot there. Well, what would you added?
what would I
What
add?
what could you add?
To what?
I
I
don't
can
know.
I can add a lot of
There's
things to a lot of different things. I just don't know if
well,
that's what you want to have added to it.
I'm here to listen. Here to listen. Here to probe. I know it's so rare you haven't had a. I hear men don't say things like that. Apparently, I don't. I think that's just a bunch of bullshit. But I hear that that's the case, right?
Uh, I am not a feminist. Sorry. Sorry to burst your bubble, but I am not a feminist.
Well, that wasn't really the statement, but go on. That wasn't what we were looking for. That
Oh?
wasn't the droids we were looking for. No, I kid. I mean, you say what you want to say, really. No one's stopping you. I'm not stopping. I'll tell you that right now. I believe people should be allowed to say what they want.
Anytime.
Now, the bad things that might happen to you for saying what you want, that's on you.
Yeah.
Meow.
Meow.
Yeah, you get
I
the idea.
it's just me.
Huh?
I'm just me.
It's just
I may be a little crazy, but I am still just me.
I forgot what I wanted to do as a sidewalk next to this type of stuff. And I remember, I think you even. Oh, I remember now what it was. I don't know why I'm doing this by hand. Um, it's somewhat a little bit soothing, though, you know?
I get that.
Wow, an hour and 20. How do you feel about that?
I'm cool with it. Are you cool with it?
I'm cool with everything all the time, ain't I? I'm one cool cat.
You
Did you
are
like that?
pretty relaxed.
Relaxed?
Relaxed.
Relaxed?
I didn't say relaxed. I said relaxed.
What's relaxed?
I don't know what relaxed is. That's something upon you, dude.
Something upon me?
Yep, something you invented, not me.
This is Shakespeare of comments. That's something upon you. The fucking Shakespeare of responses there.
Et tu, Brute? Et tu? I don't know. What do you want from me?
Well, same thing I want from everyone all the time. Souls.
The souls of the innocent?
Uh, or the evil, I mean.
Yeah, but the
They
souls of
all,
the innocent taste better.
they all taste the same.
You think?
You had one, you had five.
I don't know.
Before I had to fire a guy once, the first guy I ever had to fire. The last guy, really. I haven't had to fire anyone since then, if that's any telling sign.
Hmm.
Um, let's smack this mouse and look directly at the sky. Uh, he said to me one day, I go, what do you want? He said something about souls and this and that, and I said, well, I do make Faustian bargains. I go, what do you want? He goes, to go to sleep tonight. And I go, done. He goes, no, wait, to shit. I go, too late.
Mm.
You made your decision. Um, and when I fired him, he said, you are fucking Satan. This and that, and I'll make you pay. Yeah, I still haven't paid.
Well, it sounds
Well,
like that
what?
guy's got a little bit of a personal problem.
Well, how so?
Well,
It wasn't necessarily a personal problem. I mean, fucking,
well.
he got fired too. Like, he was arguing with someone, a customer, and I come in, and he's fucking arguing with her, and then this idiot, he comes busting through the door. He goes, "What's that bitch saying?" And I'm like, "Whoa, no, you fucked up. Oh no, that's not what I wanted." Which was fucking great when he did it, you know.
Yeah. I had to fire somebody once.
Oh yeah, how did
R-
that go?
It's the
Or is
whole
that the
reason why
conversation right now?
it's no, it's the whole reason why I refuse to be a manager now. Because
Oh,
my job has wanted me to be a manager and I refused.
oh, was it sad cat hours?
I had to fire somebody for their body odor.
Oh
specifically stinky
God!
feet.
Stinky feet.
Yes,
How do you fire someone for their body odor?
it was so hard. And my bosses said, you gotta do it. We gave him every opportunity to correct the problem. I even, because he was a friend as well as, one of my employees, I even went out and I bought him, like brand new shoes with new socks and new like odor eaters and all of that to try to
Oh
help.
my God! This is terrible. I'm so
I
sorry.
know.
Go
I
on
felt I
now.
felt so
Trance.
horrible. And within 2 weeks those shoes reeked again. Like it smelled like he never changed his socks. And I'm not kidding. And I felt so bad, but I had to do it. I had to fire him because
You even back? That's a whole thing.
yeah, I had to do it. I didn't have a choice. Management said, Ixnay. I said, I don't wanna. And they're like, too bad, so sad, do it. And I was like, okay.
Oh wow, they made quartz bricks. Huh.
So, therefore, I
How
will
wide is this thing?
never fire
So that's
anyone.
what quartz bricks looks like. And this is what pillars look like.
So, that was the worst ever.
Hey,
Yes.
that was the worst ever, huh?
Mm-hmm.
The worst.
Well, you
You
fire
know,
somebody because they have stinky feet, and you tell me how you feel.
I intend to never have to fire another person.
Yeah. There's some you wish you could. I know
Oh
that.
God. Well, yeah, definitely. Well, what am I to do about it? I'm just a cat. A humble cat. So 30 plus a doorway. So there's 31 blocks here. No, stop. I hate that.
I do too. That's why I'm doing it. All
Um,
right, I'll break it.
so there's 31 blocks on the front and back. So
Hmm.
if we make a door, how wide can we make the door? We can have an equal amount of pillars on both sides. The sides have 22, so
We
we
could
could
do
do
a
one.
three-way door.
Okay. Find the center and make that door.
Well, if you did this appropriately, the center should be right here, which means you could do this and this.
Listen, man, I'm just laying blocks. You tell me. You do the
So
math.
if you did this appropriately, those should be the center blocks. If you
So,
didn't do this right, then that's on you. But it kind of looks right according to the sky. Um,
I'll tell you in just a second. So 14 on this side. 14 on that side. So how many pillars can I do?
house 14, you can either do 7 pillars or 2 pillars,
So I could either have this set of pillars or one every other.
basically.
Oh, and I'm
That's
gonna
the
do
only way it would
cyan.
divide out equally. Now, you do have another option. You could do, let me see that pillar thing here.
So you can't. Your math is incorrect.
Well, you said 14 in between, right?
Yeah, it's 14 in between. No, 14 from block to block.
Ah, so that means it's actually 12. So you can do every 3 or every 4. 1, 2,
Mm,
3.
mm, Let's count this again. I feel like either I'm wrong.
You're counting wrong. Your math's
No,
wrong.
there's 14 blocks between. It tells me how many selected. And there's 14
1,
blocks
2,
selected.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. There's 12 blocks in between.
Okay.
1, 2, 3, 4. Come on. 4. 1, 2, 3, 4.
3 and
Yeah, it's
3.
3, 4. It's 3, 4, and 3 is how it's working out there.
3 and 4 and 3 will work. Fuck it. Or could we do every 2? Would we want to do every 2? How would every 2 look? Will every 2 work? Nope.
No.
Fuck. What if
The
we
reason
did
it doesn't divide out evenly is because of the fact that you had even numbers. So if we only used a 2 space door, the building would be off center. If we use 3, it keeps it center, but you
what if we
can't
make it 5 space?
5 space, I think you're going to run into the same problem. It's going to
Huh.
keep us one short.
And 4 space has shitty centering.
Yep.
And we can't double up a pillar. So I think your 3-4-3 works. I
Yeah, and
think
if
you
you do
win, ma'am.
4, 3, 4, it looks squished.
I think you win.
Okay, so this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
And
2, 3,
how tall
4,
should it look?
7, 8, 9, 10.
So I think it should be 20 tall. What do you think? You think 20 tall is pretty good?
Yeah, that's tall. What did I do here? 4,
Let's see how tall I am now. 17. Wow. I think now we're just straight building. So you got anything else you want to add for the cats?
Don't quit your job until you have a new job.
What a matronly thing to say.
Oh, it's true. I mean, think about it.
Wow. I think that's a good second one. What do you think? I think that's a wrap. It's not super deep. Lets people get to know Trace through my hexagon. So I'm gonna call it. Let's cut that and send it. You want to say bye?